March 8, 2014, 12:41 a.m. A Boeing 777 takes off from Kuala Lumpur International Airport. It's Flight MH370, heading to Beijing with 239 people on board. Families, tourists, business travelers. But within an hour, something impossible happens. The plane vanishes. No distress call. No radar signal. No trace. How can a massive jet simply disappear in an age of advanced technology and satellite tracking? This is the story of Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370, the flight that entered the sky and never returned. It was a normal night in Malaysia. The weather was calm, visibility was clear, and the aircraft, a Boeing 777, was one of the safest ever built. At 12:41 a.m., MH370 took off from Kuala Lumpur, scheduled to land in Beijing around 6:30 a.m. On board were 227 passengers and 12 crew members, people from 14 different countries. Families slept, business travelers checked emails, and flight attendants prepared for a quiet overnight journey. But at 1:19 a.m., as the aircraft approached the boundary between Malaysian and Vietnamese airspace, the co-pilot said his final words to air traffic control. "Good night, Malaysian 370. Moments later, all contact was lost. Within minutes, Vietnamese air traffic control realized the plane hadn't entered their airspace. They tried calling. No response. Malaysian controllers attempted radio contact. Silence. Radar screens no longer showed any sign of the aircraft. At first, everyone assumed it was a technical glitch, a temporary communication failure. But as time passed, it became clear. Flight MH370 was missing. Search and rescue operations began at dawn, focusing on the South China Sea, where the plane was last tracked. Dozens of ships and aircraft scanned the area. But there was nothing, not a single piece of debris, no oil slick, no emergency signal. It was as if the plane had evaporated into thin air. Then something unexpected was discovered. Military radar data, separate from civilian air traffic control, showed that after losing contact, the plane had made a sharp left turn, completely off its intended course. It flew back across Malaysia, over the Strait of Malacca, and then southward into the open ocean. For nearly 7 hours, MH370 continued flying, long after its communication systems had been shut down. But who was controlling it? Was it the captain? A hijacker? Or some kind of automated system failure? Satellites picked up faint handshakes, pings between the plane and a satellite system called Inmarsat. Using these signals, experts determined the jet had likely ended its journey somewhere in the southern Indian Ocean, one of the most remote and unforgiving places on Earth. What followed was the largest and most expensive search operation in aviation history. More than 26 countries joined the hunt. Ships, aircraft, submarines, and satellites scoured over 120,000 square kilometers of ocean. Families waited in agony. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. But nothing was found. Then in 2015, a breakthrough, a piece of a wing, known as a flaperon, washed up on the shores of Réunion Island near Africa. Later, more debris appeared along the coasts of Mozambique and Madagascar. These fragments were confirmed to be from MH370. But the main wreckage, the fuselage, the cockpit, and the black box, remain missing to this day. It's as if the ocean swallowed every trace of what happened that night. In the absence of answers, theories flooded in. Some investigators suggested Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah, an experienced pilot, may have intentionally crashed the plane, a possible suicide mission. Others believed there was a sudden decompression, knocking everyone unconscious while the plane continued on autopilot until it ran out of fuel. A few even speculated a military shoot-down, hijacking, or a cyber attack that took control of the aircraft remotely. But no theory fits perfectly. No motive, no confirmed evidence, and no survivors to tell the story. To this day, experts debate whether the plane turned south on purpose or by tragic accident. What everyone agrees on is this: Flight MH370 didn't just vanish from radar, it vanished from history. The families of the 239 passengers live in unbearable uncertainty. Some still believe their loved ones might be alive somewhere. Others have accepted the truth, but not the lack of answers. The disappearance of MH370 changed aviation forever. Today, aircraft are equipped with stronger tracking systems and satellite monitoring, so that such a mystery can never happen again. But despite advanced technology, the final moments of MH370 remain lost beneath miles of deep, dark ocean. If this story moved you, subscribe to Skyline Tragedies, where we bring you true stories of loss, mystery, and moments that changed the world forever.